Jacob Smith here. Welcome back to another 5-Minute Mysteries Review. Today I am very proud and enthusiastic to share some work with a rather new face in the mentalism community. And please pardon my German here, it's a little bit shoddy. But my dear friend, Yes Hansen, I believe I pronounced your name right there, Mr. Hansen. My apologies if not. Like I said, my German's a little shoddy. What he's presented for us today is an interesting, new, fresh look on minimalistic, interesting, psychic, premise-driven mentalism. So essentially what we have here is a Quintet in C Minor. Mr. Hansen himself being an actual musician himself and a classical pianist. What's fascinating about these effects is you can kind of see the minimalism influence there from Mr. Hansen's music background, as well as his just general belief of leaving room to breathe and leaving room for real miracles that happen inside of your mentalism. So the book opens up with an interesting foreword that talks a bit about Mr. Hansen himself, and then moves into something affectionately known as TCM OLDT. If you want to know what that is, please do buy the book. It's interesting, because what this is a really crazy, creative, smart method for essentially doing a living and dead or dowsing style of effect. And there's a lot you can do with this. It's a very simple methodology that self-working and solely depends on your ability to see. It's absolutely beautiful and can be used in any envelopes, anytime, anywhere. Without the normal crimping or anything like that. There's nothing to see. They can check the envelopes out all they want to later. They'll have no idea how it's done. It can be their envelopes. It's beautiful. The next section of the book kind of deals with Mr. Hansen's approach to mentalism. Some of the inner cognitive thinking that really flavors and influences and is brought out inside of this work. Things such as minimalism and how to present things as if real to really create the theatrical element. Really beautiful ideas and words and thoughts are kind of locked away inside of this chapter that I'm sad to say most of you will probably end up skipping over simply because there's no tricks in there. Common sense is the next idea in the book, a really interesting sequence you can add in addition to your dowsing effect. So for example, you can actually kind of do this with the original effect from the start of the book. I'm not going to repeat the long acronym again. TCM OLDT, I'll say it, why not? You can do that with this as well. So interesting kind of byplay where you can just leave room for miracles to happen and breathe inside of your psychometric style routine, or as a transition in effect to demonstrate something really incredible. Next in here is Death and Madness. Essentially what this is a classic take on an old mentalism premise done with a little esoteric props and stage direction to really make it impactful while delivering a very enlightening reading, I should say, for your participant on stage or your participant in your close-up environments. The next thing in the book is a challenge tarot. This comes from Mr. Hansen's efforts to turn a Bob Cassidy idea from, I believe, the second volume of his big book, and to turn it into a really beautiful one-on-one piece that really delivers home this amazing, unique experience while delivering a reading and finishing off with a beautiful revelation. Really nice handling in here and structuring of how things flow together and work. Absolutely beautiful what he's done in this. The final bit in the book is a interesting premise, an interesting take on an age-old effect, and that is the Russian roulette. Water to vinegar is absolutely amazing in how it works, and it's really simple workings. Will probably fool you into believing it's not a powerful effect, and I highly debate this. Seeing this from the mind of a spectator, this is an incredibly powerful effect. And it also cuts away what I consider to be the Achilles heel of the whole Russian roulette premise, and that is this idea of there being any real danger for the performer. I'm sorry, but who really buys the spikes under the cups? Nobody really does. It's just something it's never gelled with me. I've never had an audience member go, legitimately feel I was in danger, they were in danger when we were doing this game of the cups. And I've seen some really great presentations of it. Darren Brown's mock presentation being one of the most interesting. So, what all you can find in here in a Quintet in C Minor is a collection of really brilliant ideas, routines, and subtleties by somebody that's deeply passionate about our art from a very interesting background. What more could you possibly want? You have enough effects, you have enough this and that. but what you really need is tools and subtleties in the outside perspective of somebody that comes from a completely different world. And I highly recommend A Quintet in C Minor, simply because it gave me that itch when reading it personally. So, this is our first time joining me. Have you been here before? Have you seen this face? No, I had people have in a while, freshly shaven. That being said, if you enjoyed this review, please do come back next time. There's many more to go. If you didn't like this review, come back next time. There'll be a different one, I promise. And that being said, if you want to keep up on these reviews, if you want to get one of your products known or be in the loop of new details and interesting products out there in the mentalism world, please do subscribe below and keep following us here at Mystery Arts Inc. So this is Jacob out for another 5 Minute Mysteries.